Getting an Xbox Series X has been incredibly difficult for many. The Series S, albeit hard, is a little easier to get your hands on today, but how do you actually get one of these Xbox Series consoles? Well, let me offer you some suggestions that have helped me get some of these Xbox Series consoles and how you can actually potentially score one of these mythical beasts. Hey, I'm Sam with Busy Dad Gaming. I help busy dads find what Xbox games to play so they can relax and go back to their families recharged. Over the past year that the Xbox Series consoles have been made available, it's been kind of like a perfect storm. The chip shortages have been kind of just detrimental to technology as a whole, and they're not expected to lighten up until sometime in 2023. Supply shortages have in general been, causing a lot of issues. So for example, the PS5, they actually reduced about 1 million consoles per year because of the supply shortages and the increase in cost. So they're just not making as much as a margin on those things anymore. So these are the kind of things that have been impacting the overall technology scape within, pretty much every line of business at this point. So Microsoft has increased production of the Xbox Series S to compensate for the Xbox Series X short supply. And the biggest reason there is, just like with the PS5, the Series X, they just can't make enough of them to supply that overall demand. So they're starting to shift over to the Series S to try to at least meet some of it. This is why the Series S is a little more easy to get right now, and why the Series X is still very elusive to find. If you're going after a Series X or a PS5, because this will apply to both of them, be prepared that you're about to invest either time, effort, or if you're going the scalper route, a lot of money. Regardless, you're paying in some way beyond just the monetary price of the console, so just be prepared. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the PC right now, because this is what I ended up doing when I went ahead and captured either a Series X. It's also helped me with the PS5, and it's helped me just here recently when I was just, for the fun of it, seeing if I could actually get it to check out. So was able to do the Series X again here. So let's dive in. And the key thing that we're going to be looking at here is, first and foremost, the companies that are requiring memberships right now to get around some of these bot issues that they're running into. So things like Walmart Plus, Amazon Prime, Best Buy Total Tech, Red Card, which is the Target program. You also have Costco if you're a member for there. Keep in mind that a lot of these companies are hiding a lot of those restocks behind some of those particular paywalls, and your free trials will not be accessible to some of these restock drops. So again, something to keep in mind as we're diving through some of this. So I have memberships to each one of these programs, except for Best Buy. I don't want to spend $200 a year on that one. But overall, I go ahead and I open up the different product pages across all the different areas. And what I'm doing here is I'm essentially logging into every single one of them. So that way I'm right on that particular page for each one of the things that I'm going after. So in this particular case, I went ahead and pulled up all Halo Series X across Best Buy, Walmart, the Microsoft Store, Costco, and Amazon. So I ended up doing it across all these different tabs. I also opened up Twitter, because there are Twitter accounts that go ahead and do different stock drops. And these are really good things ahead of time to potentially give you some leeway to get into some of these restock alerts. So one that I've been using was Matt Swider. I believe he was a tech journalist here recently, ended up going freelance, but his has been super helpful for a lot of this stuff, and I'll have it in the description below so you can use that. But again, here is where all of your time and effort is going to be spent. And I say this because, again, you can either use time, effort, or money if you're going the scalper route. So across all these different pages, I will go through in F5. I know that's kind of simplistic, but what you're doing is you're just refreshing every single page, and you're doing this multiple times a day. And the reason I say this is because a lot of the stock drops that happen, the company will go ahead and announce it. It'll be behind their particular membership paywall. That's all fine and great. Some of these companies also do stealth drops with a lot of these things, which makes it easier for you to potentially get one of these. Again, time and effort, because you're doing this multiple times a day. So for example, when Costco ended up going ahead and releasing their Halo Series X, they ended up doing a stealth drop initially, didn't tell anyone, it just happened. And then people caught wind of it a little bit later. So you had probably like a good 10-ish, 15-minute lead to go ahead and jump in there and grab something. So again, You're doing this multiple times a day to just refresh those pages, keep them up to date. You're following Twitter to go ahead and make sure that you're following those stock alerts so that way you can jump in there right at that particular point in time to potentially grab one. And I've noticed companies typically do some kind of refresh, usually around 3 Pacific, not 3 Pacific, but 3 p.m. Eastern time, which is 12 Pacific. But again, that's not a hard and fast rule. That's just something that I've noticed. And just keep trying across all these different pages that you're on and just continuously refresh multiple times a day. Again, you're putting a lot more time, you're putting a lot more effort, or you can just go the scalper route. If you're going after a Series X, you can go ahead and look at, I think it was like $850 last time I checked on eBay, or you can do with the Halo Series X, which is last time I looked at retail, or not retail, but scalper pricing was like over $1,000. So again, you're paying in some way. But one word of caution as I'm going through a lot of this process: don't use your phone. Yeah, don't use your phone at all if you can help it. There's usually latency that happens on there. If you're out and about and that's the only thing that you have available, by all means do that. But if you're at a desktop or a laptop, just do it right there. I wouldn't use your phone, especially when it came to like the Amazon mobile app. That thing crashed the last time the Halo Series X thing ended up going out. So, word of caution there. The other thing to keep in mind when you're going through a lot of this is log into all the websites first, so that way you're not having to spend time logging in. Make sure that your address is up to date. Make sure that your payment that you're going to be using is already up to date and in your account. Those are things that I've seen people kind of stumble upon and then they end up missing out on things. Also, take into account some of these companies I've seen, they'll go ahead and put you in a queue now. So for example, Best Buy on their most recent Series X release, you jump in there, you add to cart, and it'll go ahead and put you in line. So again, it's a way that they're trying to get around bots, but that's something that you're also going to have to take into account. And the other thing is you're going to have to be fast. As you're going through these things, you're going to have all that stuff kind of lined up, jumping in, adding it to cart, making sure your address and your payment method are already established, buy, and get things and get that confirmation, because it's a really good feeling to get that thing. Know that you're going to be getting this new Series X or PS5 or Halo Series X, whatever it is that you ordered, that you're actually going to get one. Hopefully this helps you and it serves you in some way to get the Series X or the PS5 or whatever console that you're actually going after. Make sure to drop it in the comments below that if this has helped you, how has it helped you? What things have you done that have helped you get the Xbox? And as a community, let's make sure that we can help as many people as humanly possible score a series console for this holiday period, and we all come out a little better for it. I appreciate you taking some time to watch this, and I hope again that it serves you. Make sure to check out the video that is recommended for you, and I'll see you out there.